How do you come up with fresh ideas for content every month?
It's a great question. And intellectually, all business owners know that they do need fresh content, but they get so overwhelmed at the idea of coming up with this content. And it doesn't have to be so overwhelming. Any business owner can come up with an entire year content in an hour max, and probably less than that.
Well, I can't wait to learn how to create that content. Welcome to Radical Conversations, where entrepreneurs share their wisdom and lessons learned with you to help you navigate your journey an easier path than ours. I'm Angie Dobransky, your partner for success, and I'm here with Erika Dickstein to talk about how you can come up with a steady stream of content for great ideas to promote your business. So, hi, Erika. How are you today?
Hi, Angie. I'm very excited to chat with you.
So we're going to talk about creating content today, which is the bane of every small business owner's existence, because we know that we should post ideally every day, and even sometimes multiple times per day, depending on the channel, and probably no less than 3 times per week, if we're really trying to maximize our exposure, right? So how do we create all that content? I'll tell you, one of my tricks is to do stuff like this, right?
Yeah.
Schedule video interviews with people I know who I know have things to share, and that creates content for both of us.
Absolutely. I mean, I think what is so overwhelming to business owners is when they start to think about content, they literally think about, you remember like when you would have an essay due and you would just open up a document and it would just have this blinker blinking at you. You think of just this empty page, and that is what becomes so overwhelming and what stops people in their tracks. And so what we work to do is to create methods so that nobody is ever looking at an empty screen, but instead has basically created for themselves a framework of the content that they're going to use. And so when they're creating the content, it's all within the framework, and the framework is telling them what the content is that they're going to create.
So how do they do that? Because I'll tell you, I think I've been a coach 15 years now, and I think I've given this advice for 15 years, which is if you need to post regular content, so the first thing you should do is sit down and make a list of your content for like at least several months or the next year. Just make a list of all your topics so you know what you're going to talk about. And then it's real easy because you just open up the list and you create some content. And then they go, great idea. And then they get stuck.
Okay, so let's talk about content let's talk about it in 2 different ways. So first we're going to talk about sort of topics, and then we're going to talk about modalities. So when you talk about topics, the thing that we're a big proponent of at Spring Insight is the idea of theme months. So what is a theme month? A theme month is, just like you said, you think about like, okay, what are these big picture topics? What are these things that you like to talk about? You, I'm sure, have so many more than 12 of them, right? So you as a business coach, you might have one that's preparing, that's around growth. You might have another one that's around CRM. So around like how to keep contact with people. You might have another one around taxes. So whatever they are.
I actually generally organize all my content into 4 categories, which I long have, right? So it's mindset, right? It's tactics, it's growth, right? And it's planning. And so, now I actually try to, because that's basically, I think, the 4 pillars of successful business, right? And so I try to create equal amounts of content across all those categories so that I'm not leaning too heavily in one and ignoring another.
So with a theme month, the pillars are probably even a little bit too broad. What you would do is you would break up a pillar and you'd say, okay, here, let's take something from that pillar, and that's our theme this month. So you'll be interested to know, Spring Insight, my company, our theme for this month is precisely what we're talking about. It's creating reusable, recyclable content. It's creating content that can be used in lots of different ways. So the first thing, as I said, I wanted to chat about was this idea of creating these theme months. Now, the second thing is thinking about what are the different modalities, the different ways in which you can communicate an individual message. So, as I said, this month we're creating reusable content. Well, what does that mean? That means all month we've created blogs around this. We've created a series of blogs about how we do things. We're creating a series of social media posts where we promote those blogs. So now we've got blogs and social media posts. You and I are chatting about it. We're going to have a video. My team is preparing a webinar on the topic, and we'll also be sending a guest blog in to the chamber where I'm a member. So we'll be doing that. And I was recently invited to go on a podcast to talk about the same topic. So, and for all of these, for your conversation with me, for the conversation that I'll have in the podcast, I can now create social media promoting that. So all of this, if you think about it, it just grows exponentially when you start thinking about, you have this one idea, and keeping that one idea is now providing you with so much content that you're not having to rethink every time you go on LinkedIn. Okay, well, what am I going to say? I know what I'm going to say because I have an entire theme month calendar.
All right. Well, I think we have a lot of good tips here. So let's see, what are our big takeaways? Number one, you have content in your head and you just need to get it out, right? Number two, I love the theme month idea. I use theme months and theme weeks in multiple ways in my business, by the way, to organize myself. I recommend that as a general strategy. And then, as we've talked about, when you have the big idea, it's really easy to just modify that into different content and different modalities. I really do think one blog post can be a whole month's worth of content, or one video can be a whole month's worth of content when used effectively. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. So thank you, Erika. Erika Dickstein is a website strategy professional whose firm, Spring Insight, specializes in helping subject matter experts like me and hopefully you, right, get their message out with outsourced strategic marketing and websites that perform. You can contact her on her website at Spring Insight, and depending on where this is posted, we'll put all of her contact info in the contents or post or wherever it can go. And I'm Angie Dobransky, your partner for success. If you're ready to take your business to the next level, book a call with me on my website, radstrategic.com.